Hello. Hi. Um, Shotguns. We're doing shotguns today. Um, yeah, let's see if I can make this 12 minutes. That's the goal, 12 minutes. Let's see. All right, first of all, shotguns can be used in all four roles. Um, I believe that they excel the most at role number 1 and role number 2, although they can still do 3. I do think they really only have one utility, and that is with 1-2 punch to power up your melee, which is still a very good utility. And as far as ad clear is concerned, the only time I'm ever gonna use a shotgun for ad clear is with the new perk Discord. I'm mentioning these things now because I don't go over them later, and on top of the fact that I would only use Discord, I'm probably only gonna use an ad clear shotgun build with Discord, and I'll be running Titan with its new shotgun gauntlet buff or whatever. Again, it's not about Titan, it's not about that in particular, just figured I'd mention it. Now, preferred roles on your first column, this is where your barrels are. You have two options in my opinion. You have Field Choke. Field Choke is only useful on 1-2 punch for those utility builds, because what Field Choke does is if you aim down sights, it will squeeze your spread. Don't worry about the spread, we'll get to it in a minute, or you're seeing it in the background. Um, and squeezing down your spread is important for 1-2 punch because you have to land every single one of your pellets to then get 1-2 punch to proc, and that will give you an increase to your melee damage. It's a big increase. I want to say it's like double, um, yeah, double melee damage, I believe. Might even be more than that, to be honest, but whatever. It's like one of the very few ways you can increase your melee damage. And then Barrel Shroud is the other option. Barrel Shroud just gives you more handling on shotguns. You want handling on shotguns because they have poor handling, and you want to be able to whip that thing out and shoot somebody with it. Haha, sex joke. So, in the second column, this is where your magazine choices are. You want extended mag or appended mag. Sometimes you can't get appended mag, so you want extended mag, but appended mag is better generally because it doesn't give you any negatives, only positives, and it'll give you one more bullet in the magazine. You want more bullets in the magazine because that's kind of the point of these shotguns anyway. And assault mag, it just lets you shoot faster. It just RPM increase, a small one, but it is there. Very useful, particularly on aggressive frames because they fire the slowest and they have a cool intrinsic thing that we'll get to later. Third column, you want threat detector, quick draw, slick draw. All of these things kind of do the same thing. It just lets you whip out the shotgun faster with zero drawbacks or caveats really other than threat detector, which just needs you to be near people, which is gonna happen because you're using a shotgun. Grave robber, a grave robber, or overflow. Both do the same thing, but differently. Overflow automatically puts extra bullets in the magazine when you pick up ammo, and by extra I mean doubles your magazine. Grave Robber refills your magazine upon melee kill. You're close. If you shotgun something and for some reason it doesn't die regularly, you punch it. You can also use that with the utility of 1-2 punch. So yeah, cool. Auto loading holster, fill prep. I think these are also quite similar. Auto loading holster is being shown in the background footage. Basically, it will reload your gun after a certain period of time if you just swap away from it and use something else. I think it's about 2 seconds. Fill prep. This is also useful in that it gives you more total ammo because it increases. It gives you more total ammo damage because it increases your total ammo on whatever weapon you have. Also, if you crouch and reload, you will reload faster. So it's good for that. Lead from gold. This is important mainly on ad clear and or utility builds, just because it's gonna give you more ammo. What lead from gold does is whenever you pick up heavy ammo, it will also get some of that ammo as special weapon ammo, or I guess ammo to this weapon in particular. I don't think lead from gold is on anything other than special weapons, but if they ever put it on something else, then you know. that it still should work. I guess that would mean on the heavy it will double up, but I digress. Um, Fourth column, you want damage, dude. You want damage. Surrounded, Vorpal, Frenzy. Surrounded is a big damage increase, but you gotta have 3 people around you, which is a bit cumbersome to proc consistently, but if you ever can proc it with any kind of consistency, it's amazing. Vorpal, Frenzy, these are your basic bitch damage buffs. 15% for both. Frenzy also has the added caveat of giving you a bunch of handling and reload speed, which is something you want. So if you have the choice, go Frenzy. If not, just use Vorpal because the damage is still important no matter what. Cascade Point. This one's interesting because if you use this properly, you can use Cascade Point on 2 different shotguns at the same in the same damage rotation. Basically, the way Cascade Point works is if you get a kill with a different weapon, or you hit multiple crit hits with a different weapon, then you swap to the weapon that has Cascade Point, it will increase your rate of fire, typically doubling it for about 2 seconds. So you can see how this would work. You would get enough shots to proc Cascade Point, swap to the Cascade Point gun, make sure that your first Cascade Point gun lands a bunch of crits, and then swap to your other Cascade Point gun, and rinse and repeat. I would imagine as long as you have auto-loading holster or just a massive magazine, you could shoot through a bunch of ammo really fast, which would be a whole bunch of burst damage. 1-2 punch, we've already talked about it. It does what I talked about before. You land all your pellets, you get a melee damage increase. Recombination. I only brought this up because I hope they put this on more guns. If you get elemental damage kills, it stacks up and increases the amount of damage that this the recombination gun in particular does. This is only on one gun right now, and it's a slug from a raid. But if they put this on any other gun, it's going to be really good. It's really good. High burst damage. If you've ever used Izanagi's Burden, is that, but on a legendary weapon and with more steps, but it's more ammo efficient. Easy to prot damage perks. Any other easy to prot damage perks, really, because the idea here is just more damage. Is Swashbuckler, Adrenaline Inject, I don't really give a damn. Okay, if it has a damage perk, you probably want to go for that. You want the easier to prot damage perks. Ooh, I missed one here. I forgot about that. Let's just add it in here then, and I think it would go about here. Trench Barrel. Trench Barrel is once you get a melee hit, you get 3 shots of 50% increased damage. It also gives you like reload speed and so on and so forth. The reason why I forgot about it is because it's only effective on one shotgun type, and that would be the aggressive frames, because their rate of fire is so slow that the melee combined with getting a reload and shotgun and so on and so forth, the melee cancel, the reload cancel, doesn't drop DPS. Because the way you would have to do it is you would melee, shoot 3, melee, shoot 3. By then you're about to run out of ammo, and for most shotguns, that's when Trench Barrel starts being trash. But for an aggressive frame shotgun, you would get to where you have to reload, and instead of panicking, you would just melee, shotgun, reload, hold down the shot, shoot, reload, shoot, reload, shoot. So you do the same thing, it's just that you're reloading in between every shot, which is not a big deal on those shotguns because the rate of fire is slower than it takes to reload one bullet. Yeah, and then utility perks. The utility perks would apply to any add clear variation of a shotgun, like unrelenting or something to that effect. Alright, we make a pretty good time here. Aggressive frame shotguns at 55 RPM. The frame will intrinsically increase rate of fire after a kill. This is really good. I want to say that with assault mag, and after you getting 1 kill, you go up to like lightweight RPM, which is good. Most damage per shot, obviously. Um, very high base range, making it about 5 meters. I don't know. The highest base range stat on one of these guns is 31, making it 5 meters flat without any range bumps. Uh, Poor handling. This applies to most shotguns, but I think it's very, very bad on aggressives. Precision frames, I'm not even going to go over all this shit. It's not for PvE, it's only a PvP thing. If you see the spread, which ironically was happening as soon as I was talking there, the spread is like a oval, and it's like basically the perfect size for like a person. So it works great in PvP because of that. It's very consistent, and they also have very high base range. But for in PvE, they fire slow and don't do enough damage, so the DPS is bad. Lightweight. This is like actually more like a depth on every other gun. It doesn't really excel anywhere. It has okay rate of fire, okay DPS. It does have the benefit of having a lightweight frame, which lets you move around faster. Um, 5.2 meters of range is the highest range at base with 49. Um, yeah, it's mid. That's the problem with lightweight frames. They're mid. They don't excel anywhere. Rapid fire frames, 140 RPM. Best base range is 34, which equates to 4.8 meters of range. Best bird damage, man, I can't spell. All right, don't ask any questions. Burst damage frame, because they fire so quickly, they can do a whole bunch of damage very fast. It just requires a bunch of ammo, but we're cool with that. Frame has a lot of recoil. I know that's not how you spell recoil, but um, that's the best I'm gonna do and try and fix it. I don't even know if that's how you spell it. It has a lot of recoil. It's kind of annoying to deal with, but once you get used to it, it's fine. Um, this would this frame, the rapid frame, and the aggressive frame are the frames you want to be using for damaging bosses. You can use the lightweight frames as a backup option if you don't have the proper element to deal with them. Uh, but rapids and aggressives would be your go-tos for damage. Then you have slugs. I quotation them slugs because I think it's pinpoint precision, which is going to be confusing as fuck. But just know if you find pinpoint, then it's different. Highest base range is 73, which equates to 9.5 meters when you're aiming down sights. I think it's about 7 when you're just shooting from the hip. Precision damage is pretty high. The recent nerfs made them more in line with other shotguns, making them obsolete for boss damage. I don't like slugs anymore. They used to be monsters, but because of that, they got nerfed. Now they're basically in line with every other shotgun, so why would I aim for a headshot when I could just shoot something in the body and do basically the same amount of damage? Because, you know, shotgun. Alright, so that's shotguns. I do want to quickly make sure I go over the other spreads. Rapid fire spreads is kind of like a box, uh, which is a little weird, but you know, whatever. Lightweight frame spreads are a diamond. Uh, yeah, just kind of whatever. We already talked about precisions with the oval shape, which is perfect for PvP. Aggressives are like a octagon, I believe, or yeah, it's like an octagon. Um, this makes them not ideal spread-wise for PvP, but the amount of damage they do per pellet makes them really good in PvP. Um, this is a PvE discussion though, so aggressives are good for what I've mentioned previously. I hope that this was useful. This took me way longer than I feel like it should have to actually do. And hope you enjoyed it. Later.